If you are watching this video, it probably means that you're going to be interviewing with the Apple Store. Well, congratulations, because just by doing this, by watching videos, preparing, doing research, you're probably gonna be better than about 25% of the people. But by watching this video all the way to the end, I can guarantee you are gonna be better than 99% of the candidates who interview with the Apple Store. Now, if my face is unfamiliar to you, I'm Ben from Ben Talks Talent. And what I do is I make videos to help candidates become the best candidate possible so they can land their next job and have fulfilling careers. But one of the things I specialize in is making company-specific interview guides so that you know the answers to the test before you even take it. And I have done a ton of work helping people prepare for jobs and interviews at the Apple Store. Now, if you haven't seen this video, I encourage you to go watch it afterwards, but if you go through the comments, you'll see hundreds of comments, many of them saying, Ben, thank you so much for this guide. I landed a job at the Apple Store. What this video is I have interviewed a bunch of those people, and I'm taking the 4 things that are gonna make the most significant impact to you as a candidate, and I'm teaching you them. So let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. Now, the first thing you need to do that's gonna separate you from most of the candidates who interview at the Apple Store is you need to come prepared with great questions to every single interview. I interviewed several candidates who ended up getting the job at the Apple Store, and one of the things that they said is when it reached the time where they're at the very end of the interview, like the group interview, often the person interviewing everyone would say, do you have any questions for me? And there's people in their groups of 4, 5, 6 people, and all but one of them would say, no, I don't have any questions. I think I have everything, thank you. And then one of those candidates would come prepared to ask several great questions. And that really matters. It stood out. And those candidates who are asking questions, well, if they're doing good in the rest of the interview, those are the candidates who are standing out and ultimately getting job offers. Now, if you want to watch a video that has great questions to ask in your interview with Apple, go click this one when you're done. Go watch that video and it's gonna give you, I think I give you 7 great questions that you can ask. But trust me, you reach the end of that interview and a lot of these candidates, they don't have any questions. Questions indicate that 1, you were interested, 2, you were passionate, 3, you did research, and it's a great way to stand out compared to other candidates. Now, when you're interviewing with Apple, they're gonna ask you a lot of questions, of course, right? It's an interview, that's common knowledge. But the most important question they're going to ask you is the interview question, why Apple? Or why are you interested in working here at Apple? And you have to have a great answer. If you don't have a great answer to that question, you are absolutely not going to make it through. That's really important to them. Brand advocacy, passionate people around their brand, that is key. Now, if you wanna watch a video where I have like 5 or 6 different ways that you can answer it, check out this video when you're done. It's gonna tell you exactly what you need to do. It's gonna give you 4 or 5 examples that you can use to answer the question, but it's one of those things that you need to be prepared to talk about. So have your answer ready, think about it, and come prepared to crush it. Now, it wouldn't be an Apple interview if there wasn't role playing. If you're in the group interview stage with Apple, they are absolutely going to require you to role play. Now, when I'm interviewing people for my team and my company, I make people role play. And I gotta be honest, people don't always love it, but the most intimidating things about role playing are 1, being surprised by it, right? So if you're surprised that there's gonna be role playing, usually that's going to be really hard to deal with. And then 2, it's the nerves of actually saying things and having people listening to you and dissecting what you're saying and evaluating you based on something that you might not have been prepared to talk about. So my advice to you is 1, know that it's coming. If you make it to the group stage of an Apple interview, they are absolutely going to do some role playing. And you need to be prepared to talk about it. But my second piece of advice is just imagine that you're working at the Apple Store and someone comes in and says, what kind of computer would be best for me? Okay, you need to practice talking through that. So think about common questions that get asked at the Apple Store. Imagine yourself as a customer. What questions would you ask them? And then just practice talking through that as if you were an Apple employee. Now, you don't have to be the most knowledgeable person ever, but you do need to be like friendly. You need to be inquisitive, asking them questions. How will you be using this? What are you gonna use it for? Are there multiple people who are gonna be using this? You know, think about questions that can dig and help evaluate what's best for them. And then you need to be approachable. These are things that matter to Apple quite a bit. So my big things here, 1, be prepared, understand that a role play is coming, and just practice saying some of the things that you might say if you were pretending to be an Apple customer care associate. Lastly, Apple isn't looking to hire raving fans. They don't need you to be the biggest Steve Jobs fan in the world. They don't need you to be the biggest Apple fan in the world. But what they are looking for is they're looking for people who are friendly, have a personality, and they're approachable. When people come into the Apple Store, it's an experience. You feel welcome, you feel cared for, you feel seen, understood, and you feel like these people have your best interests in mind and they're going to help you figure out what product is best for you. You need to think about that. When you're talking to them, when you're interviewing, when you're answering questions, every time you're answering one of those questions, have those things in mind. Friendly and approachable. You don't need to be an expert. They're going to teach you things. They're going to help equip you to become the best person at your role, but you do need to be friendly and you do need to be approachable because they truly cannot teach those things. Those are fundamental to you and you have to exhibit that when you're interviewing. There you have it. Those are 4 things. Honestly, if you do those 4 things when you're interviewing with Apple, if you make it to the group stage, you are absolutely going to crush it. You're going to stand out and you're going to perform better than 99% of the people who interview with Apple at the Apple Store. There you go. That's the video. Good luck in your interview. If you do interview and you get the job, please leave it below. I love hearing that. I will absolutely respond. Good luck in your interview. You got this.